Hello there, I've put this video together because I keep getting the same question over and over again. Can I teach you how to do covert hypnosis? Well, the simple answer to this is that I could, but I really don't want to. And the reasons for this is because my hypnotic experience is primarily in stage hypnosis and hypnotherapy, so I prefer to teach that because that's what I'm best at. I do use conversational hypnosis, but rather than teach you how to do it myself, I'd rather put you onto the people that I think can teach you a lot better than I can. It just makes a lot more sense. So, what I've done over quite a long time this has taken me, is I've reviewed 7 of what I consider to be the best covert conversational hypnosis courses on the internet. I didn't buy all of these courses. I actually contacted the people that sell them, said I'm interested in doing a review, told them who I was, and the majority of the people just sent me the courses free of charge, so I got to look through them. The ones that didn't reply to me, I had to go and buy their product. So I went through the same process you'd have to go to. But what I did once I'd finished the review is I went through the refund policy and got my money back, because I wanted to make sure that if you decide to purchase one of these courses and it ends up not being for you, you can get your money back. So I didn't want to recommend anything that might be a little bit of a scam just to get your cash and then the person's just going to run away with it. So the courses that I reviewed, of the 7 on my list, 5 of them really were not practical, and I'll tell you why. They work. The kind of material that they're giving you and the kind of things that they're telling you to say to people would work. They make sense from a hypnotic point of view, but they're just not practical. This is stuff, I mean, they give you word-for-word scripts that you can go out and use on people. There's a technique called the hammer. You've probably heard of them yourself. There's loads and loads of different little scripts that you can go out and unleash on the public. And they're for varying situations, like getting upgrades on flights, getting dates, that kind of stuff. But from those 5 courses, the kind of scripts that they give you, they're the sort of stuff that you just would never say in the real world. And if you ever said it to someone, you'd just feel like a complete idiot. This material it's just not real life. It would work if you used it, but the chances of you using it are just so slim because it's so out of context with normal conversation. There were 2 courses that didn't do this, and these 2 courses gave you very, very practical scripts that you can use in everyday situations and you wouldn't sound like an idiot. So they're really the only 2 that I want to focus on this review, because I think they're the only 2 that are practical. These got practical applications in the real world. The rest of them, it's really interesting stuff, and the hypnotic language behind the scripts is sound and it would work, but you're doing this covert hypnosis. The purpose of it is so the other person doesn't know that you're doing anything unusual, so it's got to sound like a normal conversation, and these 2 courses are the only 2 that did that. The 2 courses, in no particular order, one of them is Stephen Pelliari's course, which is called Covert Hypnosis, very simply. Well, I think it might be called The Art of Covert Hypnosis. And the other one is Igor Lechovsky, whose course is called Conversational Hypnosis. Now, if you've been researching this kind of material for any amount of time, I'll be very surprised if you haven't already got Igor Lechovsky's course, because it is so popular. So, these courses are very different. And what primarily makes them very different is Steve and Igor are completely different people. They come from different backgrounds, they seem to have different goals, they've got different ideas about the applications of this kind of material. So I'm going to quickly cover that first of all, and you'll be able to see whether or not Steve's course or Igor's course is going to be more suitable for you. Both of these courses are downloadable. They're both courses that were originally being sold in CD format. You could buy, there's lots of CDs on both the courses and books and all that kind of material, and you could buy the whole thing as a package. They're both quite expensive, but what both of these guys have done is they've had all of the courses transcripted out into PDF files, and they've created audio MP3 files that you can download from the internet. So this knocks the price down, so for that reason, over anything else, it gives them one up on all the other courses I reviewed. But it means that you can get them straight away. So you can download the material, you can start working through it immediately, and you can get started now rather than having to wait for something to come through the post. So both of them do that. So first of all, I want to address Stephen Pelliari. Steve is a showman, and he is a Vegas style hypnotist. He does cold reading, which is, I don't know if you're aware of what cold reading is, but it's when people appear to be psychic and they tell you things about yourself, and it's really, really impressive, and they get some amazing results. As part of his course, he also includes a book which teaches you how to do this cold reading process. This is really, really valuable stuff, because it's interesting to learn it yourself, but it protects you from other people doing it on you, and you can also do it for other people. That's got 2 benefits. First of all, you can pretend to be psychic, which is a hell of a lot of fun. But secondly, you can use these techniques on a person, and you can use it as an icebreaker, And then afterwards you can say, that was all nonsense, I'm not psychic, but let me tell you how I did it. And this is a really good lead into talking about psychology, mind control, and the way the mind works. So it's a brilliant way of talking to people about these subjects at quite a deep level and breaking the ice. It's a really fantastic little tool. So on Steve's website, you don't have to buy anything. You can get that cold reading course completely free. It's just a PDF ebook that you can download. So it is included as part of his course, but if you wanted to just pop over to his site and download that, you can get that part for free. So if you do choose to go for Igor's course, still pop over to Steve's website and get yourself his cold reading book. Now, I'm going to stick with Steve's course for a little bit longer because the material in Steve's course, it's very, very evident that he comes from a showman background. The material is very look at me, look at what I can do, that kind of stuff. So it appeals to the ego. I think generally guys between the ages of about 18 to 30 are just going to love this stuff. There's one CD on the course that focuses on hypnotic seduction. It's really practical. It tells you exactly what you have to do, you have to say, the ways that you have to touch people in order to anchor certain emotions and feelings to them, and it goes through all this step by step. It's completely scripted out, and this stuff works. It is really, really interesting to read, but if you're in a situation where you haven't got a partner and you want to find one, then I would really, really recommend that you go through this. It's not sleazy, and it is the kind of, the content of this script is the sort of stuff that you would say to someone in real life, and it wouldn't sound cheesy, it wouldn't sound out of place. So you really can apply this, go through the scripts, go to a nightclub and just go and chat to someone using this script, and it's going to work. Now, I'm not talking about the pick-up artist material here, I'm not talking about cheesy chat-up lines or that kind of stuff. It's just like having a normal conversation that is layered with hypnotic language patterns, subliminal messages, embedded commands, NLP techniques that causes the outcome to be that that person finds you desirable. Now, this is a subject that I really need to talk about in a little bit more depth. When we talk about covert hypnosis, that's the one that comes to mind, seducing people. And usually people say, oh, it's unethical, it's wrong, it's sleazy, and there's a lot of negative adjectives which are used to describe this particular area of covert hypnosis. But I want you to look at it this way. I want to reframe this a little bit. I've got a friend who's in his late 30s, and I've known him since he was probably 20, 21, 22, and he's always, for as long as I've known him, been single. I've never known him to have a girlfriend. He is a fantastic guy. He's very passionate about life. He's one of the most loyal people I've ever met. He's always there for you, he'll do things for you, he's incredibly genuine, and he's really, really honest. Now, he's a good catch. I'm amazed he's not married. And when he finally does get married, I think he's going to make a fantastic husband for somebody. But he's also incredibly shy, so he doesn't approach people. If someone approaches him, he gets flustered, he doesn't know what to say, and he makes himself look a little bit of a fool. Now, I have said time and time and time again, why don't you use these techniques? Use covert hypnotic techniques, seduction, hypnosis, to get your foot in the door, just get chatting with somebody. Yet he is so against it because it goes against his moral beliefs about what's right ethically. Now, the way he sees it is though he would be controlling someone's mind to do something that's against their will. So he's manipulating someone into liking him when perhaps they wouldn't really like him. But that's not what it is. What he would be doing is getting his foot in the door so that he could present the real him to somebody. So if you're attracted to this material for the purposes of seduction, bear this in mind. If you use hypnosis to seduce somebody, there's no way this is going to develop into a relationship unless you're the kind of person underneath that is the sort of person that someone would want to be in a relationship with. Because you just can't fake this stuff. Yes, hypnosis will get your foot in the door, it will get you noticed, it will get people to like you, but if you can't follow it up with a personality that supports that, it's going to go nowhere. So this particularly appeals to people that they're genuinely nice people on the inside, they've got a lot to offer, but they're probably a little bit too shy to go up and break the ice with somebody. So specifically, Stephen Pelliari's course is, I mean, that's not all it does, but if that's the kind of reason you're attracted to covert hypnosis, then go down that avenue and get a hold of Steve's course, because you really, really won't regret it, because that one CD alone is worth the price of this course, because this can allow you to break the ice with someone that becomes the love of your life, that you could end up getting married because of this material, and that's something that's kind of too good to miss. And I know there are ethical issues, and people say, oh, it's not right to manipulate someone, get them to like you when perhaps they don't, but that's not what happens. It's just getting your foot in the door.